time for a new year and a new you, which means it is time for a live workout. I know so many of you that have been following our whole body vibration platform workouts over the last several years are asking for more and more and more of these workouts. And so that's what we're going to do today. But we're going to merge it in with a couple other products that Lifepro features so that you can get the maximal opportunity to multitask with whether you have the platform, whether you have the weights, or you might not have anything at all. We're going to go ahead and put you through a workout program to maximize mobility so that you're getting more flexible, loosey-goosey, maximizing opportunities for strength gains, whether you're entry level or whether you are a seasoned recreational, exercise enthusiast, whatever you want to call yourself. We want to make sure that everybody feels comfortable with rolling off the couch or getting up out of the chair for the first time and not being intimidated by this workout. So we're going to start out very, very easy for those of you that want easy and want to go ahead and jumpstart their new year with some new workouts. And those of you who are looking for finding the edge, I will show you how to modify these exercises and upregulate them so that it's really, really challenging. We do not have music today because of licensing challenges, but I will work on continuing to get music for you for in the future because I am motivated by music. But I do have the RumbleX Pro vibration platform today. It doesn't matter which platform you have, but if you have a vibration platform, go ahead and get it out in front of you. I'm going to be rolling on the P2 setting. You can roll with whatever setting is convenient and comfortable for you. But most importantly, you want to make sure that you're staying comfortable and within your own limits of exertion. You're going to find in the workout today that we've got three different sizes and types of adjustable dumbbells made by Lifepro. Some of those come as a set. Those are the Power Up dumbbells. And then, yes, this is the Power Up. And then we've got two other sets of adjustable dumbbells that come sold as individuals, or you can buy them in combos. One is in increments of up to 15 pounds, 2.5 pounds for 15-pound max. And then we've got some, I'm sorry, that's not right, for 12.5-pound max, 2.5 for 12.5-pound max. And then we've got some that are adjustable in 5-pound increments, starting at 5, going all the way to 25. So depending on where your comfort zone is, to save space at home, check out the link that we're posting here shortly, and you can order any one of these products that I'm featuring in this workout. But again, you don't have to have any of it in order to participate. So let me know where you're listening from, and if you are here tuning in wanting to do a specific area of your body, one of my greatest strengths is being able to create a workout on the fly from the top of my head. So if I have a lot of individuals who are wanting arms, or got somebody who's wanting leg day, or you want total body, we're gonna sprinkle a little bit in from everywhere. But if you're here specifically to see one area of the body versus another, abdominals, back, shoulders, or on the other side of the coin, if you are having pain anywhere in your body, then make sure in post if you are having pain or suffering of an injury somewhere, so that I can make sure that we are being mindful of your limits and I'm able to provide you some modifications so that you can continue to participate in these exercises without compromising your health and your pain levels, okay? And I'm seeing everybody jumping on here, so super thankful that you're all here. We are going to drive this workout for the next 30, 40, 45 minutes-ish. I always start with a general warm-up and just getting the whole body loosey-goosey. And then I always end with pelvic floor, abdominals, and core stabilization off of the platform. So we'll go through that with a little bit of light meditation of just really recognizing what you feel, how you feel, breathing, and just going out to conquer the day. Some of you, it's early in the afternoon. Some of you, it's early in the morning. So depending on where you're listening in from, you can watch this later and do it over and over and over again. And if you're live with us now, we're definitely going to have a lot of fun here today. So that being said, let's go ahead and get the ball rolling. I've got some extra little tips and tricks and tools here with me. A lot of them are not available through Lifepro, but if you happen to have some of these things at home, whether it's a kickball or what I call the squishy ball, it's a product that we provide with the Horizon Balance Trainer, and it's a Pilates bar ball. I like using these for working those inner thighs. I've also got the glider discs, but if you have paper plates at home, you can use a paper plate at home. I like to use these non-slip thick hip circle bands when I'm working up high on the thighs because I have fibromyalgia, so I don't do very well with pressure points from the latex band. So if you need a grippy hip circle, I use those. And then you'll be using the included Lifepro mini loop bands, and I've got an assortment of different resistance levels. So we'll be using those. And then, of course, I already mentioned using the dumbbells. And then last but not least, you always see in some of my past videos wearing the B3 BFR bands, blood flow resistance bands, in order to do less intensity, 25% of the intensity, less time, maximizing the output of a 60-minute workout without destroying your body at the same time. If you are interested in learning more about those, it is not a Lifepro product. You can contact me directly at 317-446-7971, and I'll be happy to provide you the information to learn about that technology that's rapidly trending. So let's get going. Okay, here we go. Hopefully you're all feeling well and healthy and fresh. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn on our units. We're just gonna start with a light warm-up. I like to start with the warm-up on the platform. We are gonna start with shoulders. So I'm gonna go into a P2 mode, and I'm gonna start on my hands and knees, okay? And again, I will come out here in front. Actually, let me go ahead and get this set up for you. I'm gonna come out here in front and show you how to do this if you don't have a platform, and then I'm gonna take it to the platform, all right? Let me adjust my camera angle here so we can see everything. Super excited to see you all here today. It's a great day when we get to share time together. So thank you for coordinating. Oh, I'm a little crooked. Thank you for coordinating your time with us today. Okay, I think I might be somewhat straight there. If not, we'll use a great imagination, right? Okay, so what I want you to start with is just rolling your shoulders to the back, okay? We're just rolling shoulders. And although this might seem kind of elementary, if we can't do the little things that our body has been known to do most of our life, if we can't do this, then we can't upgrade to the more complicated things. Your shoulders are meant to be a super mobile joint in the human body alongside with the hips. So if we are not mobile in our shoulders, then our hip has to sacrifice that immobility. And same thing in the hips. If we are not getting good mobility and range in our hips, then our shoulders have to work a little bit harder. And so we want to maximize everything we do today. So rolling backward, rolling forward. Now, we're going to take those arms up, and we're going to do the same thing, rolling backwards and rolling forwards. Now, I'm going to do this on the platform, and while we're doing this on the platform, what makes this so fun on the platform is it actually forces you to use your pelvic floor and your abdominals a lot more than if you're just down on the ground without the vibration. So we're going to be in a kneeling position, lifting with our chest high, creating more space here in the rib cage and in the lower belly. So separating ribs from hips, lift nice and tall. We're rolling those arms back. Our body likes to move in circles. Forward, arms come up, rolling. It doesn't have to be fast. It can be at any pace you want it to be, but rolling forward and backward. There we go. You can see my body's having to work this a lot harder now that I'm on the vibration platform versus being on the ground. So if you're having a hard time coordinating this, you can do without the platform if you need to. Okay. Now from here, I want you to go swim. We're going swimming. And if you're one of those who swims out here to the side, here's another thing I want you to consider is you have a teacup in the palm of your hand. Do not drop the teacup on the floor until you get up to the top, and you might just burn yourself and then you throw it down to get rid of it. We grab the teacup on the other hand, hold the teacup flat in the hand, take it behind, and then throw through. So this is how we swim, okay? And as we are swimming, we're working those hips as much as we are with those arms, okay? Now, if you're finding that this is really sore on your knees, you can get pads. It comes with a pad so that you can double up and not have to take the blow all to the knee. So we've gone forward, let's go backwards. Okay, going backwards, swimming motion. Good, good, good. And then from here, we're gonna go hands up. So waving, give me a wave, back and forth. We're waving both hands, right? Now let's flip those hands forward and backward, waving those hands, flipping those hands, waving. Give me lots of waves. I know it sounds silly, right? And then we're flipping. Good. Now from here, palms are flat, like you're getting ready to give me a big high five. And from here, we are rotating. Okay. So I want you to think about squeezing your butt cheeks really tight, or those of you wanting to work those inner thighs, put that ball in between your legs and squeeze that ball tight. And remember, the closer that your legs are together to the center of the platform, the less intensity and vibration that you absorb. If you're wanting greater intensity, you take your legs out further away so that you're getting the maximal vibration stimulation from the edges. So if I squeeze that ball like I'm going to pop it, hands are up, and now we're looking right to left with double high fives. High-fiving your left neighbor, high-fiving your right neighbor, just back and forth. Okay, we're getting our midsection, our thoracic spine opened up, which is super important. Good. And some of you might actually feel your butt working a little harder than you thought, because that vibration is stimulating all your muscles to fire. So, and if you feel like, I do, like right now, like all the flubber is flopping like crazy, don't be afraid of that. Don't be conscious of that. It's a good thing. Okay. Now from here, I'm going to show this on the ground. From here, we're going to get hands and knees position. Okay. And from here, I want you to round your back like you're tucking your tail. And then I want you to squeeze your shoulders together as you send your booty through the ceiling. So tuck your tail, round out your back. And then from here, booty up, squeeze the shoulders. We're just going to go back and forth on this. Okay. Now, as we are on the platform, if it's too much vibration, you can do this from afar. So you just take your body away from the platform, round and tuck, squeeze, and booty. Okay. So I'm going to show you this on the platform. And again, the closer you are to the center, the less the intensity. So if you're out here and you're like, oh my gosh, it is just shaking up my brains, and you can't handle it, just bring your hands closer to the center. So we're going to round the back, tuck your tails, squeeze the shoulders, booty through the roof. Round the back, tuck the tail, squeeze the shoulders, booty through the roof. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and start with getting into some opening up of our hips. On this, what I want you to do is we're going to go hands into a push-up position. And so the way we're going to get into that, I'm going to demonstrate this to you from the side so that you can actually see what's happening. If you are on a mat, we're here, okay? We're going to take one foot back, take the other foot back, and push your push your back into the ceiling as you drive your heels away from your body, okay? We're going to bring those knees down one at a time, and we're going to reload that, okay? So push your back into the ceiling. One foot goes back, other foot goes back, pushing the ground away from you as you push through the roof, okay? That's how we're going to start. Now, in order to enjoy this exercise, we're going to go here, and then from here, if you can only get to here, that's fine. Maybe you can only get to here, that's fine. But ideally, if we can get that foot up high so we can sink into it, that's even better. And then if we can come up just a little bit and allow that vibration platform to work through our torso, that's even better. But we have to work within our limits of what we can do. So again, if we have to go from here to here and back up and bringing the knee in and back up, you modify as best as you need so that you feel comfortable with the process, because we don't want to discourage you from exercising because it hurts. Let me see what we got here. Yes, you always have to be aware of SI joint pain for sure. And yes, I always recommend first thing in the morning before you eat. If you get on it after you eat, guess what? It comes back up. You're going to get some acid reflux, some heartburn, and that is no fun. So from here, we're going to push the back through the roof, drive those heels away from your body, Squeeze Benjamin with your butt crack. And from here, just think about bringing one foot forward, taking it back, bring the other foot forward, bringing it back. Foot comes forward, taking it back, bringing foot forward, taking it back. Now, if you're having trouble with this, take one foot forward, drop the knee, pop back up, slide it out. Foot forward, drop the knee, back up, take it back out. Let's try that one more time. Foot forward as best as you can, drop the knee down to enjoy the stretch, pop back up, leg comes out, and last time, foot in, drop it down, push up, foot comes back. Now, if you can get that foot up a little bit higher close to your hand, it would be a little something like this, okay? And it's okay if you let that other leg sag. In fact, what you can do is you can drop that leg down and you can actually lift the chest and really open up those shoulders and stretch it out. Actually feels really good, okay? So we're taking it back. And again, maybe you can only get to here, okay? So another way to try this off of the platform is we go from here to just bringing a foot up, okay? And if you just got to come to here and open up, that works, okay? Again, we want to try and get our body to open up as much as possible, because when our body can move better, we feel better. So if we get to here, that's okay. Let's just come on up. Just do what you can do, and let's enjoy what we can do and not worry about being upset about what we can't do, okay? So go into that push position, bringing the foot up, really sinking into that, okay? And then coming back out, foot comes up. And again, if that's too much energy, either pick a different program on the Rumble X or go closer to the center. Back out, switch it out, okay? Drive the heel away or drop the knee down. Either way, you're getting a totally different stretch each and every time you do that. Okay, back it out. Let's switch it up. Dropping back down. You can drop that knee down. Drive the heel back. We want to stay down here if you want to. Come on up. Now you're no longer on the platform, but you still get to open up in the stretch. Taking it back. Okay, let's go one more time each way. Foot up. Sink and sag into it. Okay, taking it back. Switching sides. Sinking and sagging into it, opening up that chest, and coming back. All right. Now from here, roly-poly on up. Okay, now we've done the warm-up for the core part of our body. I get a lot of clients that complain of sciatica or complain of hamstring pain. So I want to take you through another, quick few minutes of loosening up and warming up the lower body. Now that we've got the hips and the low back, we've got the chest and the shoulders and the torso. Now we've really got to make sure that we're driving into the quads and driving into the hamstrings. So I'm going to go back on here and turn us into a P2, and I'll demonstrate this off to the side. So if you don't have a platform, you can still participate. What we're going to do, head and chest is up high, and all I want you to do is bend forward without dropping and rounding. So I don't want you to bend for your toes. Keep that head and chest high and thinking about touching your butt to this imaginary wall behind you, okay? When we reach for our toes, we actually are getting more of this and not working so much on this, okay? So I want you to keep your head chest high, keep your eyes up, and touch your butt to that imaginary wall. You're not going to feel like you're going very far, but you're going to really feel that stretch all the way down the back side of your body, okay? And then if you want to settle into it, you can settle into it as deep as you feel going, okay? We're going to come up, and then we're going to go heels in, toes are out, head and chest high, touch your butt to that imaginary wall as you trace your hands down your legs, and then once you get stabilized and comfortable, then you can take it on further if you choose to. I'll show you what this looks like on the platform. So I like to go a little wider so I'm stable. So head and chest is high, dropping that booty back, and yes, you are going to get a lot of shaky, and it actually feels really good. So if you do have sciatica, or if you do have low back pain or hip pain, this is an awesome exercise to do on a day-to-day basis. If you don't have a platform, they're going to provide you a link that you can order one. And if you are somebody who has had any kind of pain in your knees or your hips, or if you have artificial joints, you're going to want to order the Rumble X Pro or the Rumble X Plus. You do not want to order the Rumble X 4D because the 4D has super curves on the side, and that is not a good situation for somebody with artificial joints or for somebody who has regular hip and knee pain. Okay, so we're going to go heels in, toes are out, head and chest high. Take that booty to touch the imaginary wall, get comfortable, and then take it on down. And then rise on up. And we're going to go toes in, heels are out. Okay, head and chest is high. Reaching forward, butt to that imaginary wall. Taking yourself all the way down. And rolling on up. Okay, we're going to get into doing a bunch of lunges, okay? So what I want you to work on is proper lunge technique before you try and do this on the platform. So we're going to have, what I want you to do for proper lunge technique is just pick one foot up off the ground, take a giant step forward and make sure that you can balance that. So land that first. You've got an imaginary pole coming right through the center of your head, through your chest, through your crotch, directly into the floor. Let's slide down the pole. And you're going to hold that. So we're getting a good stretch. We're opening up our psoas muscle group in our abs. And then let's rise back up and step back into your starting position. We're going to pick up the other knee, take a step forward, make sure you can land it. If you don't want to slide down the pole, you don't have to. But what I want to see you doing is actually slide down the pole. One of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot with individuals trying to do a lunge is we pick a knee up and they lean into it and they catch themselves and then they drop forward, but they're really not stretching anything out. So we want to make sure that when we go into this position, knee comes up, stride out as far as you feel comfortable going, slide straight down the pole, okay? And then you can either step out of it or you can step back out of it. Step forward into it or back out of it. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to, the best way to do this if you're on the platform is you're going to take your body up top, and from here, just find your balance on the floor, wherever it is you feel comfortable positioning yourself. And from here, slide down that pole, okay? And then you're gonna really feel that quad starting to light up. If this feels awkward, you might have to take another little baby step back with the back foot, but slide down the pole, and you're gonna feel a really deep stretch and a huge burning in those thighs. And if you need to use your hand for extra support, we can drop down into a really deep lunge and stabilize this, okay? So let me check these comments here right quick. Yes. Yes, this stretch is actually very good for L1 and S1, or most of the time, those two that bump up together is L5 and S1. Okay, so we're gonna go back up to the platform. And if you wanna start center, it's gonna give you a little bit more balance than off to the side, but take a step back and get your balance first, okay? And from here, slide down the pole as you feel comfortable, okay? And from here, if you wanna make this a little more interesting, you can move that leg that's on the platform, you can move it in to out, fanning in and out, and ooh, we feel that on the other inner thigh because you're stabilizing, okay? Stabilizing, so step it up. Let's take it back, slide down the pole, good, in and out, good, step two. All right, so you get the idea. All right, now that we've done our lovely little warm up there, the only thing that we're missing is squats. So what I want you to do is slide those hands down your knees and stand right back up, because a lot of people get confused about how to do a squat properly. So I don't want you to think about taking that body weight forward. I want you to have your hands right here on your thighs, sit back as best as you can as you slide your hands down and come right back up to a standing position. Slide down and stand up. Now, if you have trouble standing up, another way that you can do this is squat down, and then you can roll your back up, okay? So slide down with those hands, tuck your tail under, and rise to the occasion, all right? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes, if you have spinal stenosis, it is okay for you to do this. You just want to make sure that if you have intensified, sharp pains in your back, modify it as needed. But doing these exercises will actually help you when it comes to creating mobility, because spinal stenosis continues to progress when you don't move as much. So try and move as much as you can, as pain-free as you can. All right, that's the secret. Okay, now it's time to go. So what we're gonna do, let's go ahead and get a set of dumbbells. You can grab whatever size dumbbell you want. We're just gonna start with working on legs first, and then we're gonna go into arms towards the end. We're gonna push through a couple of these in little 10-minute increments based on the platform. So if you're only wanting to do certain parts of this, that's fine. And if you're wanting to break it up later and come back and do a 10-minute part of, let's say, legs or 10 minutes of arms, you can come back in and just chop this video up and actually do however much of it you choose to, or skip through what you don't like, okay? Today, I'm going to utilize the Power Up dumbbells, which come sold as a set. And so what I want you to do on these is we're gonna go ahead and take a stance on top of the platform. And from here, we're just going into that squat that I kind of showed you and standing back tall, okay? Squatting down and standing tall. And if you want to make this a little more intense and drop all the way down to the ground, that is totally up to you. And again, if you don't have a platform at home, then we're just dropping down and coming up, okay? I want you to make sure and keep your head and chest high, because when we drop forward, we drop the back. So let me repeat that. When you're squatting, keep your head and chest high, because if you lean forward to see where you're going, you see what happens to my chest and my shoulders? My head and everything drops forward. So keep everything straight and flat, and then you won't have any trouble with your back. Okay, so we go in super wide on the Pro, and from here, head, chest high. I'm gonna drop it all the way down as far as I can go, because I like getting deep, and we're gonna rise back to the occasion. If you wanna go weights to the side, you can go weights to the side too. So sitting on down, feeling nice and low, rise on up. Nice job. We're gonna go about 20 seconds here of this. So I want you to do, I'm not one who likes to count. When you get to a point where you're burning and you feel like your body is on fire, give me about 3 to 5 more, and then take yourself a break. Nice job. Let's do 2 more here. Last one. Good, good, good. Okay, now from here, we're gonna get into a really deep stretch. So we're gonna drop down, head, chest stays tall, find the ground, rise back up. This is not a squat, this is called a hinge. Dropping down, head, chest stays up, feel the stretch. Squeeze those butt cheeks as you come back tall. So if you're wanting to turn what might feel like to you a watermelon butt into more of a round, plumptuous cantaloupe butt, then this is what you want to do. This is your booty strengthening exercise. Okay, we're almost through here. Let's do a couple more of these. Let's do 5 more. 5 more right here. Nice work. Just a few more. You guys have got this, and you're gonna find you might be a little sore getting started, but once we get going, it gets easier. Oh, let's do 1 more. Ah, there it is. Nice job. Okay, now we're gonna put those weights down. We're going to grab ourselves a drink. I'm gonna take the next couple exercises to the floor, because I love, love, love these exercises. This is where you need to get yourself a paper plate or a slider, okay? Paper plate or a slider. And from here, we're gonna work on making sure that we can slide backwards. I gotta move my platform out of the way. There we go. So what I want you to do with your paper plate is you're here. All I want you to do is just slide back a little bit and then bring it back too, okay? Slide it back, bring it to. When you slide it back, some of you might want to go forward, and that's okay. If that's you, you're not going to hurt yourself by going forward, okay? I just want to make sure that we're not really pulling forward. So let's make sure we're staying tall and we're shifting forward as a unit and not losing our low back, okay? Or you can slide back, kind of falling into it. Okay, let's try that on both sides and make sure that we are comfortable with that, putting our body through it with control before we add weight to it. Pull through, slide back, pull through, pull back, reaching for the shopping cart, pull yourself back up. Yep, reaching, pulling back up. And again, if you want to slide forward as your leg goes back, that's fine too. Whichever you're most comfortable with. All right, keep those going. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes, you can definitely find easily copy and paste it. And again, phone number 317-446-7971. Okay, now I'm only going to grab one weight, only grabbing one weight. And again, today I'm just making it convenient since they're already up and ready, the power up dumbbells. So what I'm gonna do, you can do this however you want to. If you are an overachiever, that means you are like, die hard, go get them, okay? This is the hard one, okay? We're gonna slide down the pole, touching the weight to the ground, and go back up and slide back too, okay? Slide back, down the pole, find the floor, touch the ground, pull up and through. Now, you don't have to touch your knee to the ground, but if you wanna rotate and angulate into where your hand touches the ground, that's fine. If you don't wanna touch the ground, you don't have to, but the most important thing is keep your head and chest high so that we're not forward loading and putting more pressure on that back. If you're wanting to do forward loading, okay, you're gonna take your other hand and trace down as you find the weight next to your knee and come back out of that. That is a totally different feeling, looks very similar. So if you're wanting to mix and match that, you're gonna get a really big bang out of your buck in that moment, okay? So we're here, head and chest is high, sliding hand down the leg until you get here into that forward, and then you slide back too. If you don't have a slider, you just want to step back and step two, that's fine too. So many different ways to modify this, but ultimately, awesome exercise. Okay, so again, let's give, why don't you give me like 10 of those sliders back, and you just do whatever pace, however low you want to go, mix it up a little bit if you choose to. So down, pull up, there's one, there's two, okay, so there's a lot of leaning there for me, but I'm keeping that head up as I pull through. I'm gonna fall into this time. I don't wanna go all the way down necessarily, so you don't have to. Let's go halfway through there, so let's do 5 more here. And if you wanna drop all the way down, rotate in, pull up. And what happens when you rotate down? Ooh, we get some abs going. Drop, angle in, angle out, pull through, whoop, whoop, whoop. We are burning on fire. Out, in, rise, give me 2 more of these. Angle, up, pop 2, last one. Angle 2, drive home. Oh, yes. Okay, what we gotta do on one leg, we gotta do the other. So here we go to the other. So the weighted hand, same leg as your slider, okay? So again, let's just go through 10 of these, whatever your comfort zone is, okay? Head and chest stays high. If you wanna touch all the way down, you can. Push off, come true. This is a lot harder than it looks. A lot harder. So ease into this, have some fun with it. And guess what? If today is not such a good day, and if you're not very good at this today, don't give up. Keep trying a little harder each and every time, because you got to start somewhere where you're never going to get to where you want to be. Okay, sliding down the pole, angle. Woo, that's killer. Didn't drop all the way down on that one. Heart rate, way up there, right? We're not even doing cardio. Slide, angle, up, pull 2, give me 3 more. Falling down the pole, finding the ground, angle up. Yep, booty on fire. Let's go 1 more right here. Whoops, that was a total fail, so we're gonna reload that. slide back, drop down the pole, lean. Oh, I know my abs are gonna be sore tomorrow. Okay, putting that weight down. Okay, awesome job. Heart rate is way high right now. Okay, now this next exercise I like to call ready, set, go, okay? And what we're gonna do is we are gonna either use the squishy ball or we're just gonna hold a weight here on our thigh. But with the squishy ball, you're not using any weight whatsoever. You're just putting the weight on the thigh to hold the ball there, okay? And from here, as you're holding that ball balancing there, we're just in and out. Ready, set, go, right? And yes, this is killer. Excuse me. The other thing is if you want to get on the platform and do that, it's an awesome exercise on the platform, but you don't have to, okay? So if you want to use the weight, you're going to grab your weight and you're going to hold it however you choose to hold it, okay? But here I am holding the weight here front and center, and I'm just sliding that back glide. And it is killer, right? Okay, you can put the weight on the leg with not loading it, but just holding it there and keeping your butt in that one stable position. Do 5 more right here because we're burning. Good. Nice job. Give your booty a pat. Congratulate it for doing such a great job. Okay, if you want to do a little bit of both, gonna grab your Lifepro Amber squishy ball. Okay, we're gonna put it on our leg like we're trying to pop it. You can actually hold the weight down here and same thing. Now, if you want to create some variability here, you can put the weight in the other hand, which is actually harder because you got to stabilize while you slide. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so go ahead and get the platform off and rolling. Okay, let me bring this back to you all so you can see. Okay, so let's start with just the squishy ball. So squishy ball, squishy ball goes on the leg that's stable, okay? On the leg that's stable. We're stabilizing here with our arms. Slide out, slide in, slide out, slide in. It's called ready, set, go. Out and in. Make sure your foot is good and center on that platform. Center is easier. If you want it to be harder, take your foot to the side because it moves a lot more if your leg is over to the side. And it is killer. Okay? Now, if you're wanting to add weight too, we got a little bit of everything going on here. Lots of multitasking. Okay, so we're here, slide out, slide in, slide out, give a little row, slide in, slide out, little row, slide in, give me 5 more, slide out, you got it. So all different ways you can combine this. Getting total body right now, not just legs. We're getting arms, abs. Oh, I'm gonna keep you going because it's fun, right? There you go. Woo, that was good. Okay, so that's how you do that. Yes, awesome. And it is not for beginners. That is a tough exercise. So if you struggled with that, it's okay. All right? Yes, killer for sure. Okay, now let's go ahead and work on some more booty. Doing some good booty here. I'm gonna slide my unit forward and we're gonna start this a couple of different ways. Have your squishy ball handy. We're gonna lay on our back. Okay, laying on our back. Heels are gonna be on the unit. Okay, so we're laying on our back. Use that squishy ball. Push that, somebody said they want inner thighs. Use that squishy ball. Drive those heels into the platform as you squeeze that ball to hold it in place and push your hips through the roof. It does not matter if you get your hips all the way up because the higher you go on the hip rise, the more you activate the low back, and we don't want you to hurt yourself. If you need to go feet flat, you need to choose to go closer to the unit if your feet are flat. Okay, so you can go foot flat. If you go heels only, it's a lot harder with heels only. But squeeze that ball as tight as you possibly can. Don't let anybody steal your ball. Okay? Now, for those of you that feel like you're doing nothing to the arms here, and your arms would like to have a little bit of attention, then we're gonna grab one of our arm weights. And today, I'm just gonna go ahead and use a 15 pounder. And again, the beauty of having adjustable weights. So again, we're kind of multitasking here. So ball goes in the legs. Weights go up here. Squeeze that ball. Weight goes overhead. Come back down and relaunch. Okay, go heels in if you choose. Push it up. Weight overhead. Back two. Slowly come down. Squeeze the ball. Push up. Weight overhead. Touch the floor. Back up. Slowly bring it down. Now let's mix this up a little bit, okay? Mixing it up a little bit. So we're here. I want you to squeeze that ball 5 pumps while the weight is in the air. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, if you need to go foot flat, that's fine. Foot flat, squeeze the booty. Weight goes overhead. Coming back 2. Slowly drop. Heels up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Foot flat. Push through the roof. Weight overhead. Come back to down to the ground. If you want to do this and you don't have a platform, I will show you how to do this off the platform. So we're going to lay to the side here. If you don't have a ball, let's just say you've got a can of soup or a dumbbell, okay? We're going to imagine that we have a $100 bill in our butt, squeeze it really, really tight, push our hips through the roof, take that weight overhead, find the ground, come back to, slowly lower down, okay? The closer you bring your feet to your bottom, the more you're gonna use the glutes. So push up, overhead, back up, slowly drop down. Pop it up, overhead, back up, drop it down. If you're wanting more for your hamstrings and into your thigh, take your feet a little further away from the body, okay? Push hips up, overhead, back two, and drop it down. Now, the other way to make this harder on the hamstrings and on the back of the thighs, so if you're trying to get rid of that cellulite by building more muscle tone here, okay, we're gonna go heel digs. So driving those heels, digging those heels into the ground like you're trying to use your heel to drag yourself a line in the dirt, okay? So heels go down, squeeze your booty as tight as you can, holding Benjamin in your butt, push through the roof, overhead, back up, drop it down, okay? Heel dig, drive heels in, squeeze butt, lift, weight overhead, back overhead, dropping it back down. Add the squishy ball, okay? Squeeze tight, push up, overhead, back two, drop it down. Squeeze tight, hips up, overhead, back two, hips to the ground. Okay, so that is killer. It's like giving me a bad hair day, right? Because it's so straining in a good kind of way that we're a hot mess. It's a good thing. Okay, now let's go ahead and show you how to do some other exercises using those free mini loop bands that come with all of our platforms. I love doing these exercises. You can do this in addition to using dumbbells or whatever kind of a weight you have, whether it's a medicine ball or whether it is you've got a kettlebell. You can use any kind of weight that you want. So we're gonna put, I'm actually gonna go heavy. We're gonna put the resistance around, you can go around, let's start with the ankles. I'm gonna teach you some variety here today. So we're gonna go around the ankles, okay, wherever it's comfortable for you. And squishy ball gets to go off to the side. Now, we can go dumbbell straight overhead, or what I like to do is having a medicine ball or a squishy ball, and we're pushing that ball into the ceiling. And from here, what is really important is that you're locking down your low back. So we're tilting and squashing a paper plate underneath of our low back. And I know my camera's cutting down, so let me tilt the camera down just a tad. Yes, we're a hot mess, but it's all good. There we go. Okay, back to where we were. Now, when you get to the point, if you get to the point that your mini loop band is too light and you've got the blue or the black, you can start adding bands. So you could add a red band in addition to your blue band down at the ankles to get this exercise in. So the sky is the limit on how high we can go with this, okay? But what I want you to do is imagine, actually, we'll take this band, lay it underneath of our back, okay? And you got to be able to squash the band so that you can't pull the band out. And it can either be up high or it can be down low so that you are stabilizing that SI joint, okay? So down low, so you can't pull it out. All right, now we're gonna put the ball either here between the legs or we can go hands up. I like to go hands up for starters. So squash that rubber band, okay? And from here, we can slightly bend the legs, or if we really wanna light up the butt and the hammies, I want you to squeeze and pop this ball as you're opening and closing, okay? Open and close. Now, you do not want to do this on a platform. I don't prefer to lay on top of a platform like this. And again, if you want to use your dumbbells, you can use your dumbbells for this exercise. One of the fun things that you can do, the way that these dumbbells are built, is you can hold on to the ends, okay? So we're gonna go overhead. Woo, yes. Okay, bringing it back to here, toe touch, okay? Open and close, all the way back. Make sure that you're still squashing that rubber band. It is a lot harder than it looks. Toe touch, open and close. Take that dumbbell for a ride over your head. Okay, coming back up and toe touch. Get a little inversion, a little reverse abs there. Now, you can also hold the weight like this, okay? Whatever's convenient for you. Open and close, weight overhead, find the ground, back up two, and toe touch. Open and close. Last one right here. Touch the ground, back up, and toe touch. All right, now let's bend those knees ever so slightly. We're gonna adjust so the dumbbell's over our face. Don't drop the dumbbell, okay? Make sure you've got good hold of your dumbbell. And from here, we're gonna open and close. But we gotta make sure that we're not arching our back. This is a no-no. So what I mean by that is I can slide the band out. That's a no-no, okay? So make sure you put that band underneath there. And if you are doing this right, opening and closing, you should not be able to move that band. And if you're having low back pain and you start doing these exercises, it's amazing how fast your low back pain will go away. All right, so open and close while you're moving that weight. Oh, that's killer. I'm gonna feel this tomorrow. We can make it a little more interesting. Drop that weight down, push back up, overhead. I'm one of those who likes to do a lot of joints, a lot of moving muscles at the same time. I don't like to isolate, so I don't like to do leg day one day, arm day another day, ab day another day. I like to do it all in some form or another every day. All right, so that's that. Okay, now let's work on some mobility, okay? So we're gonna go legs up, work on those abs. Let's just sway side to side, nice and easy, as best as you can. If you can only get your legs up to here, that's fine. Let's really pulley, side to side, and loosen up that low back, okay? And then after we get through this, we'll get back into doing some arms on the vibration platform. One of my favorite workouts in using the mini bands. But let's massage that low back, making it feel really good. We're using the band to keep our legs together. All right, okay. Grab yourself a water or a drink of water, and we're gonna go back to the platforms. We are gonna do a low level setting here. So I'm actually gonna go into manual mode. Why? Because I don't like to do workouts on the platform for my shoulders unless it's on a very, very low intensity, because it's just too much energy close to the head. So fix this sweaty, slappy hair mess, right? Give me some comments. How are we doing? Are we burning up like crazy? Is it making you excited to watch, but you're not doing yet, but you're looking forward to doing it later? Or you're having to take a break because it's just too much or you need more? Let me know where you're at. All right. And so down to the platform we go. Ooh, those are heavy. Now, since my bands have been on for a while, I'm gonna leave my arm bands on, but I'm gonna take my leg bands off because I'm done with legs. All right. So again, we're gonna go low level intensity. So if you have a pro, you're gonna use the wrench, and I want you to light all three up on the wrench, and then you're gonna push the start button, and you're gonna leave it on a speed of 1 and just see how you handle that, because this can be a lot of intensity on the neck and shoulders real quick. If that's too much energy for you and you need less, then go to the wrench and you're going to light up the lateral move, which is side to side, and then push play. And this is way less intense on the shoulders than the oscillation teeter-tottering, okay? What I like to do from here is I'm gonna go with the red band, but some of you might choose the yellow. Yes, okay, I can't wait for you to try this later. Such a great workout. I'm already sweating, and we're not even doing the cardio side of things. Okay, so the band goes around the wrist. From here, we're nice and relaxed and comfortable on our knees. And from here, all I want you to do is step the hand out and bring it back in. Step the hand out to touch the side and bring it on in, okay? Now, if you wanna make this a total body exercise and you really wanna light up the abs and the legs, all you gotta do is pick up those knees. This is so much harder, okay? So if you don't want this much intensity, it's quite simple. You just drop the knees down and just do the upper. But the upper is really, really challenging after you do it long enough that it burns. And then the goal is to keep going. I'm on a speed of 1 right here. So if you want to make it a little harder, we're going to push the increase speed button. So now we're going a little faster, okay? And just tapping out. Now, if you're not feeling stimulated enough, then we choose to reprogram in manual mode, and you just choose a different combination. And you're gonna have to find what works for you because it's different for everybody. But I can tell you, once we add the oscillation in, it gets intense really quick. So tapping out. And we're gonna do that for about a set of anywhere from 10 to 20 is gonna light you up on fire. So when you start to feel the fire burning, do about 3 or 5 more. Sorry, 3 or 5 more, not 10. Good. But again, when you go to load, this is much harder. Nice job. Okay, let's switch sides. We're gonna tap it out the other side. And again, just make sure before you add resistance, instead of starting in the center where you're tapping out, you're gonna take the hands a little wider from a starting point, okay? So this is a wider starting point, tap out. This is way harder. So you can modify any of this. You can start out with your thumbs touching, okay? Starting out with thumbs touching, tap it out. Thumbs touching, little fingertip tap, okay? So we can make this really hard, really fast without changing anything else except for the distance from the center of the platform or by elevating our knees. And if you don't want to stay on the knees and you want to go into more of a downward dog approach, that's just as effective. Killer. All right. Now, where this gets more interesting, more intense, is we're here. We're going to go out, out, in. Now let's go back the way we came. Out, in. All right. So if I go right, left, then I'm going to start left, right. Or you just do what works for you. You don't even have to go in sequence. You just want to make sure that you're separating that band and that you're using absolute control when you're doing it. Because if you don't have control, That's when we get hurt. And it's okay if you have control on a super low level of resistance versus trying to fight the resistance and you slip up and you overfire and it hurts. Nice job. All right, let me check these comments real quick. Continue on with another challenge. Yes, it is good on the shoulders. And it's actually, it's a really good exercise for the rotator cuff. I actually use it for rehabilitating individuals for shoulder pain. So these are everyday exercises in the rehabilitation world that we're just adding into for general fitness purposes. Now, we're gonna go into a modified push-up position. So we got the band on, and you might need to go into a yellow band on this one if this one is too hard for you to get into a wide shoulder position. But what we're gonna do is from here is you can go with your knees way far behind you in order to tuck your booty in, okay? Or you can go into a full push-up position, okay? And I'm gonna show you how to cheat this. So we're gonna lower ourselves to the platform. It's okay if you lay down on the platform. Drop those knees and push up, okay? So I'm gonna turn this to the side so you can see it from the side, okay? So again, we've got our bands on, okay? Now, if you do it this way, you're gonna really hurt your elbows. So make sure you give yourself some space, okay? Toes down, not feet in the air, toes down, squeeze your butt cheeks nice and tight, dropping down, feeling those elbows to your side, pushing back away, okay? So keep the toes in contact with the ground. In fact, I got an idea for you. Get these paper plates underneath of your tippy toes, and when you actually have to feel something, it activates and stimulates differently than if you can imagine that it's there. So let's keep making sure that we've got our toes on the plate, okay? So keep your toes feeling that plate, head and chest is high, butt is nice and tight, dropping down, pushing back up, okay? Dropping down, pushing back up. Now to make this a notch harder, we're going full push-up mode, okay? So full push-up mode, dropping down, and if you can't get back up from here, drop those knees down, push it back up. I actually enjoy teaching that better than trying to do a full-blown push-up because with the platform, it's challenging to get all the way back up. Now, let's say we're here and our back is starting to hurt us. We don't have to stop. Let's just sit back and let's work on keeping those arms open with that resistance band. So keep that resistance band open and wide. Sit back on those heels to stretch out the back. Come back up. Elevate into a push-up. Nice and tall, nice and long. Keeping that head up. Lower down. Find the platform. Drop your knees. Press high. Sit on back. That's the sequence you can follow. Whatever you need to do. But once you use the plates underneath of your toes, it gets a lot harder because of an unstable surface. So let's do 10 of these right here. So toes are down, head, chest high, dropping down 1, pushing up, okay? And again, if you wanna make this a notch harder, we go wider on the platform with the arms. But again, let's keep that chest nice and high, drop down, push it up, elevate, drop down, elevate. Another one you can do is just barely hover. So just barely hovering. Killer. Hover as long as you can. And try and hover a little longer each and every time. Drop down, press up. Woo! On fire. I don't even know where we're at in the count of things. Let's go with 5 more. Up. Here's 4. Up. 3. Up. Here's 2. Up. And last one. Hover, hover, hover. Up. Sit on back. Stretch it out. Don't forget to breathe. First and foremost, don't forget to breathe. Nice work. Okay, let's grab ourselves a drink. Drinking is super important. And Oh, yes. Yes, you're exactly right on the 21-day challenge. So if you've not done the 21-day challenge yet, definitely go back and review that on the video series in YouTube, Amber Kivett 21-day challenge. And we show you how to do all these different exercises one day at a time, super focused instruction and super short videos so that you can really move forward a little bit at a time. I've got my bands on underneath here, so whew, that was good. I'm going to take you through some nice gentle stretches here now that we're through kind of the biggest part of the workout. And like I said, I can make that way harder and push through all the way, but I want to give you some options because from my standpoint, we have no idea who's watching or what you need. Not everybody always comments. So I like to give a different variety of adaptations, modifications so that you have some options. If you don't have it, some of you might be able to do lower body and you don't have what it takes for upper body and vice versa, or maybe you're just getting started and you're scared to death to try something. Want to make sure that you have an idea of how to do some of these things from a beginner standpoint so that you don't feel like a total failure coming right out of the gate. So definitely don't be afraid to try. Don't be afraid to step back. And if there's something that you can't do, then just don't do that part of the workout and just continue forward as you feel comfortable. Okay. Now, I'm going to do the cool down actually on the platform. I think we'll do a little bit of both. And again, you can choose whatever you want. For the program, I have chosen the P2 because P2 is just what I really like. I feel it the most. And what we're going to do is just lay with our legs across. And I just want you to roll, roly-poly your legs inward and outward and just lubricating those hip sockets and opening up those internal rotators. We're going to push into the ceiling and reach over top. And from here, we're actually opening and closing. I want you to assume that you are opening or closing a doorknob. Okay, so we're spiraling our hands. Okay, I get it. Like it's really hard to do both at the same time, right? So here's what we're going to do. You're just going to take your hands and push the wall away. Push the wall away as you are experiencing this wonderful sensation in your lower body as it vibrates all lactic acid, toxins, cramping, whatever it is you got going on. We're going to allow the platform to vibrate all of that out. Okay, so let's roly-poly those legs side to side. Okay, that's it. Or you can go side to side like windshield wipers. Okay. And then another way that we can do this is just feet on top. And we're opening and closing. Okay, opening and closing. And again, if this is not comfortable on you, then you work with whatever you can. Pushing those hands into the ceiling, pushing, pushing, pushing. And we open and close. If you have to open together, close together, that's okay. Open together, close together. Open together, close together, or you can do it opposite. But either way, we're working on opening up these hips and stabilizing with our spine. Nice job. Okay, now let's go ahead and have a seat on top of the platform. Having a seat on top of. This is good. Good stuff. Okay, feet come together, head and chest is high. Okay, and let's just fly. Flying away as we're receiving this energy right up our tailbone. And it feels really good. And if you need to slouch into it, fly away a little bit. Lift tall, fly away. If you need to hold on and experience the flushing in your shoulders at the same time, and if you're comfortable with this intensity, you can sit up nice and tall with your hands to the side. Okay, slouch down, same thing, because it changes, the tension changes in the pelvic floor, in the inner thighs when we do that. So from here, we're going to lean forward just a tad. You're going to feel that in the low back. Feels really good. Oh, yeah. It's like somebody massaging the low part of your back. Feels really, really good. Yep. Okay. Now from here, let's take those legs out in front and you get comfortable wherever you're at on your platform. And we're going to reach for with gas pedal. So toes forward, toes towards you, toes forward, toes to you. So we're just stepping on the gas. And while we're doing that, if you have your hands on the sides of the platform, whatever platform you're on, you're going to feel the arms shaky, shaky, all the toxins out. I'm actually starting to itch right now, which is a good thing. Windshield wipers with the toes. Okay. Now from here, let's reach forward. We're trying to, you might not be able to touch your toes. And if you can't, that's okay. But we're just holding on, trying to loosen up our entire backside. Ah, this feels so good. Now open those toes up. So pointing away and reach for those heels. Feels great. Reaching for those heels. And back up, toes inward, so their tippy toes are touching. Reach forward, touching the heels on the outside, getting a nice stretch in the low back. Feels absolutely wonderful. If you've got SI joint pain, you've had challenges with your pelvis, these are all awesome exercises for reducing pain and increasing stability in those areas. We're gonna go legs really wide, okay, head, chest high, and we're gonna find the ground. And if you tip your machine forward, it's okay, it'll still work. But try and balance yourself so that you're getting a really good stretch through the inner thighs, and we're leaning forward just enough to make contact with the ground. And if you can't do that, just reach head and chest high, arms are to the sides, and just allow this to vibrate you through the inner thighs and into the glutes. I find with working with a lot of clients that come to see me, my specialty is instant pain relief. I've created my own system called KIPPers, Kivit Instant Pain Relief Systems. And I find that a lot of individuals, a lot of the source of their low back pain or their hip pain are these tight muscles here on the inner thighs. Because when we sit and we don't constantly adjust in a sitting position, the first muscles that get short are these muscles right here and then the calves, which ultimately leads to the bottom of the feet with plantar fasciitis and heel pain. So open those legs up and reach out, and you can point the toe, pull the toe, push away the gas pedal, pull two, okay? And if that's too much for you, just keep one leg in and work the other. You don't have to do them both at the same time. We can work them one at a time if we need to, okay? Roly-poly like a windshield wiper, okay? And then let's switch that out. Going out to the side, push the gas away, pull two, pushing the gas, pulling two, windshield wipers. Okay, awesome job. All right, so from here, what I want to do is take those legs just a little bit wider than the shoulders and just reach forward, okay? And just let's really enjoy this stretch. You don't have to keep your back flat. I just want you to feel what feels good to you, because we all are aligned so different. It's amazing. It amazes me how God has created all of us with the exact same body parts, but we are all made as one of a kind. There's no other human being that is built like you. And that in itself is a miracle and something to celebrate. So what I mean, the end point here is making sure that you're catering to what feels good to you, because you're the only one who knows what you feel, and you're not going to hurt yourself by moving. Our body is meant to move. So don't be afraid to try different movements, even if I'm not showing them to you, because sometimes moving into some different positions is what our body needs. If you wake up sore tomorrow, totally normal. So if you do wake up sore tomorrow, or perhaps on Saturday, which is usually when you feel the sorest, let's make sure that we get on the platform first thing in the morning and we just stand on it for about 10 minutes and just let it flush you out. And let's make sure tonight that when we get on, before we go to bed, that we get on the platform and we let it flush us out. So that being said, let's stand on the platform and get yourself some water. Let me adjust the camera here so you can actually see my face. Okay. All right. This is like another, we kind of use this to start as a warm up, but just follow those legs down and you can keep your head and your chest high for just a second and then just let it all hang. And then you roll up one little bit at a time. And we can squat. So we did a warm up just like this, and we can actually cool down exactly the same way. This is actually how I enjoy relaxing at the end of the day. One of the things that I like to do, I go barefoot, but the one thing that I love about the Rumble X Pro, is how wide it is. And so I'm able to widen my stance a little bit, and I can drop all the way down and hold on and just let this sort out the tension in my low back. This right here feels really good. Many of you might not even be able to think about getting into this position. That's okay. But either way, if I'm really tired and I can't hold myself up, I'll just hold on to the front of the unit and use that as support to staying on. But yeah, and then rising up, nice and easy. You don't have to do it all at once. You can go different phases. Rising up, a little bit more, a little bit more. Hands are open wide. Chest is open, receiving energy from everybody else in the universe. Grab those arms behind you. Push them away. So it looks something like that. And life is awesome. Now, again, this is a very, very long workout. Many of you are not going to get on here for an hour at a time. As you can see, we did a lot of stuff with the platform. We did a lot of stuff without using the platform. So it doesn't matter if you have the platform or not. It doesn't matter if you have the dumbbells or not. There's so many different ways that you can modify all the stuff. But the most important thing is that you're comfortable, that you're pain-free, that you enjoy it, because if you don't enjoy it, you will not come back to it. And that you're working safely within your environment. So you don't have to have all the bells and the whistles. You just got to get started with doing something. Got to get moving. So we've been going for a little while. So again, you can chop it apart. You can rewatch it later. We'll continue to throw some different workouts at you. I am going to be back again tomorrow. We are launching a new product tomorrow. So I'll be back again tomorrow to visit with all of you that want to listen in. Tomorrow at, I believe it's 6:30 or something like that, Eastern Standard Time. They'll send you an invitation, or you can go to our social media pages and see what the event is that's going. But I'll be live again tomorrow evening, and would love to see all of you there. We're going to be, I'm assuming, since we're launching a new product, that we'll be giving one away. So maybe I'm wrong, but doesn't hurt to be there anyways to check it out. But I wish all of you the most wonderful day. And if you had a bad day, bad couple of days over the last couple of weeks, and in order to bring it full perspective, I really felt like the world was against me those 2 days. And I don't have those days very often. I'm usually really good about staying ahead of it. So I want to explain to you real quick something that my husband shared with me, because he's the one that really kind of pulled me out of the rut. Some days the world is against you. Some days things are not going right. Nothing seems to be going right, and everything seems to be going wrong, whether it's an injury or not getting along with somebody at work or loved one, whatever should happen. Just remember, as he shared with me, you might have heard of this before. Some days you're the windshield, and some days you're the bug on the windshield. And so if you are living your day and you feel like you are the bug, fall squat on the windshield. If it's not the end of the day yet, you still have time to change the outcome of that day. So if you happen to feel like you are the bug squashed on the windshield, that's losing your day, then we need to figure out a way to turn the rest of the day around so that you can finish and conquer the day as being the windshield and pushing everything out of your way in order to get things done and feel like you've done the best you can with what you have. So that being said, regardless of what's going wrong or what's going right, make sure that you are the one controlling the thermostat in your life, not other things controlling you. And when in doubt, always make sure that you go to bed feeling like you got to finish strong as the windshield with all the greatness out in front of you, and not the bug that got squashed with anything in the past. So enjoy the rest of your day. Finish strong as a windshield with everything out in front of you, of all the greatness that you can conquer, and control only what you can control, and be grateful for what's right in front of you, no matter what your day might bring. Thank you so much for watching, and we will look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.